In this video, we're going to be installing this battery hold down kit, and we're going to be installing this positive battery terminal cover. And what the tie down kit pretty much does is right there. It ties down your battery. That's pretty much what it is. And the main reason I'm going to be installing these today is because in order to take the truck to the track, I have to have a tie down kit and a positive battery terminal cover. So the battery, I'm just going to call it the cover. So the cover is really easy. You just unbolt these two holes. You don't have this orange wire, I should say. This is for like a sound system that the truck had, but you don't need that. So you're gonna get your wire right here. You're gonna feed it through this little hole, and then you're gonna go like that. Put it in where it goes, and then that's pretty much it. Like that's all that is. And in the battery tie down kit, I have a really small battery because you guys know that I was in the process of boosting it, and this had a really big battery. So I put a small battery just so I can get the intercooler piping to run through here. But I don't know if I've told you guys this before or not. This is how I've been driving my truck. So I got my manifold, my turbo, oil lines. I have my exhaust going down right there, just a little elbow piece. I'll just show you guys for those who are curious. And it ends right there at the center of the screen. And then I have my intercooler piping, intercooler, and then I have this little piece right here, and there's nothing hooked up right here, and I have the factory intake box. And the main reason I have this is because I was in the process of boosting it, and I had my pipe running right here. I made a little box right here. I have my FMU still right there. So it was pretty much boosted, but now I'm thinking that I'm just gonna rip all this off, and I'm gonna keep it stock just so it stays reliable, because you don't really need boost for these trucks. Yes, boost will wake the KA up a lot, but that KA has enough to, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys before or not, but I can do standing burnouts in second gear with heavy ass steelies. So it kind of does bog a little, but it could still do it. I don't really do second gear burnouts that much, but I know the truck can do it. It slides in first perfect, it slides in second, so I don't need boost. Like, that's the only reason I would want boost, just to do those two things I just talked about, but the truck already does that. So pretty much what I'm gonna end up doing, well, at least I'm hoping or thinking I'm gonna be doing, like my plan, is I'm gonna remove all of this system, do some long tubes, and then just call it a day, and that should give it the same or equal power as this right here, because this is pretty much, it's not actually making boost, it's just kind of a free flowing exhaust. Or I might just keep it like this, make it have the turbo on there, just because I'm kind of lazy. That's why I haven't ripped any of this off, because I'm just too lazy to rip all this off, and I don't have headers. So that's why I'm probably going to keep it like this for a while. People think it's boosted, but it's not really boosted. So that's why I'm telling you guys, I'm showing you that it's not boosted, so don't think it's boosted. And some of you probably don't even care about that, but that's why I have a small battery. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this factory hole right there. You see there's two of them. I'm going to be using one of those to hook it up right there, and then I'm going to be using one of these back here. You guys probably can't even see it under those. There's a little piece of sheet metal right there, like the little tray. So I'm going to hook it up from there, do it, you know, tie it in right there, and that should be fine. Because at first I was like, oh, it's going to be in my way of my intercooler piping. That's why I never installed it. But now that I'm going to remove all this, or I don't need the intercooler piping going right here, I could set it right in the center, and that should be cherry. There you go, guys. That's pretty much how you do it. You put it in one of those holes. You got the little, it's kind of sturdy in there, but it's pretty much like a little bolt with a little hook. And same with back here. You hook that up, and you're pretty much good to go. And then you put this. This is like rubber, like it's like thin. See over here. Oh, that battery might be a little too big. And there you go. Put these little plastic washer looking things. And you get yourself two little wing nuts that come with the little kit. And you pretty much just thread it on. It's that easy. This is like a super easy install, but it's not really something you would like want to like install just because like, oh, it's cool to have a battery tie down kit. Like if your battery is just loosely in there like mine was, I would highly recommend buying these. I think they're like 15 bucks. But it's not one of those things that you can like put on your car. Oh, I dropped it. It's not like one of those things you can put on your car to like brag, like, oh, I got a battery tied down key, you know what I'm saying, bro? But like, it just helps like if you were to crash or something. So I'd highly recommend putting one of these on. Also, I have to fix my headlight. Alright guys, I got the cover all installed. It's not really that hard. Like I said, it's just these 2 bolts. Take it out, put it in through there, put it back on, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't really like look like it's covering it, but I have a cover, and just chop these down a bit and you should be set. So it is now the next day, and I think I'm just gonna make this video a drift prep style video. So what I've done today so far is, obviously you guys saw I installed that yesterday. I'm gonna cut these a little bit shorter, not that I need to because my hood already closes, but I'm gonna cut them a little shorter just so my clothes doesn't get stuck when I'm like reaching in there, or you know, my long sleeve or something doesn't get hooked on that and rip it. I did fix my headlight. I didn't really fix it, but I put a X with tape. No, this is not for looks, this is actually to hold it in, because the other day I was driving and this little trim piece right here, you can see they're old trucks, so this trim piece right here is what holds this whole lens in there, and I was driving and the trim molding piece fell out, so this whole lens was like hanging by its wire back here. So I just wanted to put some tape just so it would hold it in there. It's gonna hold it a lot better than if I just placed it in there. It might fall off, but and then if it falls off again, then I'll just take it completely off. As far as tires go, I'm gonna be using the original tires that this truck came with when I purchased it. They're not the original tires from the factory. They're just like a Doral, like some off-brand tires, but they have pretty good life on them, and I'm never gonna use them again because it's just, I don't know, I already have my other wheels, so it makes no sense to use these. So I'm just going to use these as burners, and I don't even think I'm going to go through a set of these because I'm only going to be putting these on the rear. I'm going to be leaving my Steelies on the front, removing the rear Steelies and putting the stock ones on. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to go through 2 of these at this draft event. One, because I'm not going to be like linking the whole track. I'm going to be like spinning out and you know, just trying to get the hang of it. So I'm not going to be doing any hardcore drifting, and 2, the rear end on this truck weighs like nothing, so these things should come back with a lot of life still, so that's a good thing. And as far as pressure, I put 55 psi on these 2. I marked them right there, 50 plus, 50 plus, and on those 2 I did 50. The reason I did so much is because when you have a really when you have a lot of PSI in here, it makes the tire really hard. And when you have a hard tire, it makes it kind of like ice. So it makes it a lot easier to drift and slide around. And the main reason I did a higher PSI rather than like a 30 PSI on all 4 is because if I have 55 and 55 and I feel like that's way too slippery, I need a little bit more grip, I can always just, you know, take some air out with like a screwdriver, just stick it in there, take some PSI out, and I should be fine. But if I were to take them all at, let's say, 30 psi, there'd be no way to air them up at the track because I don't think anyone has a compressor, but if they do, it'd be useful, but I don't think anyone will. So what I'm thinking is these things are going to be very, very ice skating, kind of like they're going to be sliding around a lot, because those I run them at about 30 psi and they're pretty heavy and the truck slides with no problems. And these are a lot lighter, a lot smaller, and they're 55 psi, which is like rock hard. You shouldn't go anything over than 44, so just be careful when you're going over 44. I would not recommend it, but if you really have to and you're, you know, you're willing to do it, then do it, I guess. But just be very careful. But yeah, I know there's dudes that run these up to like 70, so I don't think 50 is that much, but 50 is way over the limit that they're rated for. So don't, you know, pay attention to what they're rated for and don't go too much over that. So what I'm going to do right now is I think I'm just going to throw these 2, the higher PSI ones, in the rear, and I think I'm going to raise the front just to see if I can get it on my dad's trailer, because my dad's trailer is pretty high. We could barely get the C10 on there, and this is a lot taller. Again, this was not running, but we could still barely get it on. So I think I'm just going to raise the front like stock height just for now. Put these in the rear. These should lift up the truck a lot more because there's more girth, more wall, which makes the whole ratio, like the whole circumference of the tire, a lot bigger than those. So the rear should lift up a bit. I'm going to lift up the front as much as it'll go, I think, just to get it onto the trailer. Once we get onto the trailer, I'll lower it back to where it is right now. Just slam it again, and I think we should be set. I don't think there's much to do. I already checked the oil. Oil's good. I'll do an oil change once I get back if I don't blow it up. Hopefully I don't blow it up. And then it's got coolant. I'm just gonna hook up my since I was doing all this like turbo stuff, I took the the coolant overflow tank off, so I'm just going to install that real quick just in case it wants to overheat. It has some extra coolant. And I am going to take coolant and oil and a bunch of tools, a jack. I'll just show you guys everything I'm going to take, but I'm going to take a lot of stuff just in case something comes loose and I have to tighten it, or it somehow starts leaking oil and I have to put some more in there just to have fun. And yeah, guys, I'm really excited. So I thought the truck was ready to just load onto the trailer and take it to the track, which it technically is ready. I could just throw it on the trailer and take it to the track and I should be fine. But I want to take care of my truck, so I'm gonna do an oil change real quick before the track. The truck does have 530 oil in there with an old filter. So when I did this whole turbo shenanigan thing, I kept the oil filter that came on the truck and I just put some new oil in there. And the reason I did that is because the previous owner had said that he had done an oil change, and I believed him because when I drained it all to weld the bung, you could see that it was brand new. So that's why I left the oil filter on there. I put some 530 fluid, or not fluid, some 530 gear oil, not gear oil, goddamn, some 530 engine oil. Sorry, I'm kind of stuttering, but I'm just trying to hurry up and get this done because it's getting kind of late. But so there's 530 in there, and I'm just gonna do a nice fresh oil change just to get all that out, put a new filter on there. Got my STP right here, got some 1040, so this should be a little bit better, well I should say a lot better for the drift of it tomorrow, since I am going to be beating it up more than I normally do. So the thicker viscosity should do me a lot better, and I'm also going to be draining the diff fluid, or the gear oil I guess you can say, draining all the gear oil out of the diff and putting some new fresh gear oil in there, just to kind of have those two things just kind of, you know, topped off and all that. Well, that oil change took a lot longer than I was expecting. I haven't even actually put the oil in yet, so it's not technically an oil change, but the oil filter that was on the truck was super stuck on there. I don't know who put this on. I think they like torqued it as tight as they could or something, I don't know, but this was definitely not hand tightened. So you could see we stuck some screwdrivers in there to try to get it to budge, and we did all sorts of stuff just to get it out, but it's finally out, so that's the important part. Thanks to my dad for getting that out, because I could not get it out for the life of me. So now I just got to put the new filter in there and fill her up with new oil. I already got the plug down here, and I think I'm gonna do the rear differential oil tomorrow, because that's not really that important right now. Neither is this, but I had to disconnect the alternator, and you know, it's all loosely in there, so I have to put that all back together now. But yeah, now it's looking a lot better than it was an hour ago with this damn filter. She's just about ready to take onto the trailer. I just need to clean the inside out a bit more. Not that I really need to, but I just don't want it to look so trashy in here. But it's just like a bunch of papers and stuff, some jackets. I think that's pretty much it for the inside, and then I just gotta get rid of this log and like this carpet and all this stuff right here. But yeah, it's ready to go. Front's raised. I have the Steelies up front, stocks in the rear. I'm gonna throw the other stocks in the back of the truck, and then we're gonna load it onto the trailer. But if you can see, this is kind of steep, so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna put my jack over there on the hitch of the truck, and then jack it up a little just to get this angle to be more I don't know how you just to lower the rear end a little bit of the trailer, because right now if I go forward, I already tried it, it hits right there on the front valence. Not that I really care about not bending it, but it just gets stuck like right here, like midway. So I think I'm gonna get my quad ramps and then just kind of extend it so it's less of an angle right here, so it doesn't also get stuck. And then yeah, but she's almost ready to go onto the trailer. Just one final walk around in case I crash it, hopefully not, but just to see what it looked like before. I think Corey's also gonna go with me, maybe Rob, I'm not too sure. But look what I found in there. I found this sick ass hat. It's not really a hat, but I got it like last summer, and I left it in the back of the truck because I used to daily it and I used to drive it to work, so it was always back there. I stopped driving the truck, and then now that I'm cleaning it out, I found it in there. It's pretty sick because it's got watermelons. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Check that out.